Hello YouTube, JoJo3102 here. And what I have for you today is I just want to share with you a little bit of history, a little bit of my history, and when it comes to my knives. I will say I have an extensive collection. I have a lot of different ones, a lot of cheap ones from when you're a kid and when you first get into it, you get a lot of cheap knives. And then I have some newer, better quality knives that I'm starting to pick up and get into as I've gotten older. So what I want to share with you today was this guy right here. This here is my very first ever knife that I got. Okay, little kid. I think I picked it up in some hardware store, pawn shop, somewhere, flea market kind of deal. And what do you say? That's a buck? No, that is an imitation Pakistani, Kazakhstan, is that Pakistani? Stainless something or another on here. I'm hoping that'll focus so you guys really see that. Okay, there on the blade. It is a lock back, okay, or lock blade as what I called them when I was a kid. But as you can see, it's locked up, but really, it's not. The locking mechanism has broken on this and is now just a basic, what some people call slip joints, I guess you'd say. So there's no lock to this whatsoever. It is, I won't say dull, but it is nowhere near sharp. I've taken it across a stone a couple times, taken it through one of those Smith handheld ones. You can see the scratches here on the blade. Just from where I've, tried to sharpen it. Some cheap Mr. Steel that it is, I'm not quite sure what. And as you can see here, okay, it's really dull. So, it'll pierce and it'll cut once it's in there, because it does have a little bit of sharpness to it, but nothing that's really worth a whole lot. Okay, and that's more me ripping through the paper than anything. But I show you this knife because I want as my first knife, because I wanted to also show you this knife here, which was my first real carry knife. I got this knife when I was about 15. Maybe a little younger, probably about 12. I got this knife from a good friend of mine's family. His father got me this knife for Christmas. It used to have a U.S. Naval Academy insignia here, because my friend's father was in the Naval Academy, was in the Navy, and all intents and purposes, his whole family was supposed to go, sons were going to go to the Navy, but whatever. So for Christmas, they got me this pocket knife, minus the lanyard. I just added this recently here for the lanyard. But this is my everyday carry knife. This is what I had with me every day, all through high school, through college, up until about a month ago when I switched to this one, to the Victorinox one-handed trekker. And yes, this is, let's see if I can get this to come in. Okay, that is a Victorinox. Okay, this Victorinox Switzerland stainless Rossetti is what it is. Says on there. See if I can get that to come in. I really want you guys to take a look at that. Alright, hang on. See if that'll focus. There it is. There we go. Victorinox, Switzerland, stainless, Rossetti, R-O-S-T, can't read, R-O-S-T E-R-E-I, or T. Yeah. So that's what's on the blade. So it is a Victorinox. On here, Officer Swiss. Swiss? That's what it says. Trying to get that in focus. Hang on. They're coming. Camera doesn't want. Ah, there it is. There you go. So that's what it says on that side. And there you go. For that. So, so this is the blade I was carrying every day. Focus. Until I got that other one-handed tinker. And it has the blade here. Still pretty sharp. For, you know, not too bad. But it'll get the job done for what I needed it to do. For being, you know, a 15-plus year knife. Has a small blade. Has the can opener. Okay, with the flathead screwdriver. Now, if you'll notice on there, the small flathead, you'll see that chip. Okay, that chip happened when I tried to take a screw out to fix a door hinge. That was a little bit too strong for this particular blade, and that divot came in there, which actually makes it really nice now for actually cleaning under your fingernails, which mine are disgusting. Sorry about that. And it has, this thing is really tight in here. It also has the flat-headed screwdriver, bottle opener, wire strippers on here, and a corkscrew. Okay, that'll let you know how old it is. There, corkscrews are still on them. Most of these knives are now switched over to the Phillips head, but mine still has this corkscrew on it, and what's that? A reamer, an awl. I think that's a reamer because it does have the hole in it. Again, if you'll see on there, you'll see how that thing is broken. It's just barely hanging on. Being young and dumb, friends and I tried to jimmy a lock one time. We got locked out. Tried to jimmy the lock and put this in and kind of tweak it around to pick the lock, and apparently it got caught and swoop, twisted that right around. So I got it back around to there, and that's where it sat, and I don't use it anymore. But yeah, this is one of my, you know, favorite knives. I've carried it. I will still carry it to this day. Every once in a while I'll grab it and I'll just throw it in my pocket just for old time's sakes, just to have it. I don't really use it anymore since I have this other knife and I have other knives to use. But this is, you know, this was my first carry knife. This was the first knife I EDC'd before I knew what EDC really was. So I just want to share that with you. You know, everybody has that one Swiss Army knife that they really loved. That they, you know, everybody loves that blade. That's just classic right there. You see that and you're like, that Swiss Army knife for that blade right there. And I personally love this can opener. I've used this can opener on many camping trips, as well as I've recently started using the can opener on my other Victorinox here at home just to test it out for opening my cans. Works great. You know, you can't really have any complaints with this design for a can opener. So yeah, so that's my favorite knife out of all the ones I have. Just added this little lanyard on so that way it's in my pocket. If I really need to grab it, I can put it in there and I can distinct what it is in my pocket. So yeah, if you have a favorite knife, put a video up. Share what it is. Let us know. Okay? Thanks, YouTube. And as always, peace.